Hey folks, a number of people have been asking me questions about this particular checkpoint, so I thought I'd make a little video to explain and give you some thoughts. My hope is that I'm going to ask you to pause the video at certain points and try to figure out what to do next on your own. And I hope that this is on the honor system, I'm hopeful that you will actually try to do that. So first things first, let's take a look at this. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I think you should approach every problem that we run into in this course. You should always read through the hints if at all possible. You should always read the checklist if at all possible. And you should always go over to solution over here, solution. And you should always try whatever they suggest for you to try. It says draw two circles that are positioned so that they touch each other right where the mouse is. Well, and then it says click a few times on the canvas. Notice that two circles are drawn so that they touch where the mouse is. So I'm going to go and make sure I'm in solution, not my canvas. And then I'm going to click. And then I'm going to click again and click again. Now, something that I'd like you guys to notice is where are the two circles located? What are their positions with regard to the mouse click? Now, you will not know that if you click and then move your mouse away. You have to click and leave your mouse in position to get a feel for how are the circles positioned compared to the mouse click. Okay, so that's one thing. And again, you'll notice that it actually says to do that in the checklist. Notice that the two circles are drawn so that they touch where the mouse is. Now, I have to admit that that particular statement is a little misleading because it has you focusing on the fact that the circles touch where the mouse clicks. But that has nothing to do with how you're going to solve this problem. You're going to solve this problem by trying to figure out where each individual circle is with regard to the mouse click, okay? And that has nothing to do with where the two circles' edges touch, okay? So let's take a look. First of all, you'll notice that we have two circles. So I can tell you right away in our code, which we know we're going to have to place here, because there's a hint that tells us to draw two circles. And it even says fix your code here. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy the first circle. And then I'm going to paste it. Now I should have two circles. I'm going to hit run and go to my canvas and click. And when I click, I only get one circle, which is unfortunate. But if I hit the control, I can see, it looks like there really is only one circle. And actually there should be two circles and they should be on top of each other. I am not sure why it's saying there's only one. Let's see here. Oh, maybe because the color is the same? I'm not sure why. Anyways, we can really quickly determine that there's two circles well, there's some things we could do. Anyways, but before I show you anything else, I'd like to point out the fact that certainly when I click, the two circles are both with their center where my mouse clicks. That's not what happens in the solution. In the solution, when I click, the two circles are not centered on the mouse click. Now, one of the things I'd like you to do right now is I want you to think about how to think about a problem. So for example, where are the two circles located with regard to the mouse click? More importantly, where is one circle located with regard to the mouse click? And then where is the other circle located with regard to the mouse click? Go ahead and pause the video for just a moment and see if you can put it into your own words. Where are the two circles located with regard to the mouse click? I'll wait. Okay, I am hopeful that you took a good long period of time to think about this. And I hope you came up with the idea that one circle seems to be above the mouse click and one circle seems to be below the mouse click. I hope that's what you figured out, but if not, I'm happy to give it to you. That is an important part of figuring out all of the puzzles that come in the future, is figuring out different ways to look at the puzzle in order to make the most sense of it. Now, if one circle needs to be drawn above and one needs to be drawn below, and I have two circles in my code, the next question is, well, how can I draw one circle higher and how can I draw one circle lower? So if I go to my canvas and I click, I would love to be able to have click and have one circle go higher and one circle go lower. All right, so I'm going to ask you again to pause the video and think about this. What makes a circle? What is the thing that determines where the circle is going to be drawn on the canvas? And by the way, this button is called My Canvas, okay? But this big blue square is called the canvas. In other words, the canvas is where we draw everything regarding this programming that we're doing. So if I refer to this big if I say the canvas, I mean it's the place where we do the drawing. If I say my canvas, I mean click here. And if I say solution, I mean click here. All right, anyways. So I want you to pause the video and I want you to think about what is the thing that causes a circle to be drawn somewhere on the canvas? What is the thing that affects the circle's position? You go ahead and pause, and then in a minute I'll tell you what I think. Okay, I hope you paused the video. Let's go ahead and take a look at dots plus colors, and let's take a look at circles. So if I go to circles, what? No circles. Circle, maybe? There we go. Circle. There it is. So what causes a circle to be drawn at a particular position? Well, it is these first two parameters, the center x and the center y. Now, they don't always have to be called center x and center y, but when we write our code, however, those first two numbers are the things that tell us where the circle will be drawn. All right, now I've got another question for you guys. Let's take a look. The next question is if those first two numbers are what cause a circle to be drawn at a particular position, why are these circles, let me go to my canvas. Why are these circles being drawn so that their center is where the mouse clicks? What is causing that to happen? I want you to pause the video, I want you to look at the code, and I want you to think about why is the circle being drawn where it's drawn? And then in a second I'll tell you my thoughts. Okay, I'm hopeful that you took a minute and you thought about where the circles are being drawn and why they're being drawn there. Obviously it's related to where the mouse clicks. I would say that in my canvas, when I click, it looks to me like the two circles are being drawn with their center exactly where the mouse click is. So what is it that determines where that is? Well, if you look in the definition of the onMousePress function, you can see that it's mouse X and mouse Y that tell us where the mouse got clicked. And that is awesome. Because once I can gather up where the mouse got clicked, I can do all sorts of fun things with that, including drawing circles. And in this case, you'll notice when I draw my first circle, I draw it so that the center of this circle is at mouse X, comma mouse Y. That is exactly where the center is. And that's why when I click, I get a circle with the center right where the mouse click is. And you'll notice I did the same thing for the second circle on line 9. Now, the thing I want you to think about is what could I do to make it so that the code works more like the solution, which when I click the canvas, there's one circle that appears above and one circle appears below. In other words, what can I do to the circles in my code over here that I've written in my code? What can I do to make it so that one of those circles goes up? And I want you to think about that for a minute. And then let's pause the video, and when you come back, I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, I'm hoping that you paused the video. Now, here's what I think causes a circle to go up or down. Again, if we go back to dots and colors, and we look at the circle object, the thing that is going to cause the circle to be drawn up, well, first of all, let's talk about what makes a circle go side to side. Well, I think it's the center X value. In other words, if I say the center X is at 50, that's going to be a different circle than if I say center X is at 200. If I say center X is at 50, the circle is going to be more to the left. And if I say center X is at 200, it's going to be more to the right, the center of the circle. Same thing is true with center Y, the second parameter for my circle function. If I say that center Y is a low number, it's going to be drawn close to the top of the canvas. If I say my center Y is a higher number, the center of the circle will be drawn lower on the canvas. So, with that idea in mind, I am hopeful that you now might have some idea how to change this code in order to make one circle go higher and one circle go lower. I'd like you to pause the video and give that a try for a minute or two, maybe even more than a minute. Struggle with it for a bit. See if you can figure out how to change the code so one circle goes up and one circle goes down. And if it's easier, just focus on the one circle going up. Okay, I'm hoping that you paused the video, and now I'll give you my thoughts on this. I think what's going to happen, what needs to happen in order to move one circle up, is that I'm going to have to change this guy right here. If I change mouse X, I'll change, oh, by the way, let's play around with mouse X. So I'm gonna try adding a number to mouse X, like plus 50. And then I'm going to go ahead and run my code. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on the canvas. And when I do, you can see one circle is still being drawn with its center at the mouse click. But the other circle is being drawn to the right of the mouse click, okay, by about 50. So what about if I go in and I change something else? What if I go and I change this mouse X and I say minus, let's make it 30, okay, and I go run and then I click. Well, again, I have one circle that is centered directly on the mouse click and another circle that is to the left of the mouse click by about 30. I hope that you guys are getting the idea of what you need to do to draw one circle above the mouse click and one below. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to fool around with what kind of values you can use to make this happen. Pause the video and then come back in a minute. Okay. I'm hopeful that you paused the video, and I'm hopeful that you already solved the problem. But if you did not, I'll give you another hint. You need to change the mouse Y. The mouse Y, that value, and by the way, it's not really the mouse Y. It's the circle's center Y. But it just so happens we're putting the value of the mouse click's Y coordinate into the circle's center Y coordinate. So the thing is what I want to do is not just take the mouse clicks Y. I want to take the mouse clicks Y plus something or minus something, and that is what I want to feed into the circle for its center Y coordinate. So I'm going to say if I want this circle to go up, I'm going to try a couple of things. I'm going to try plus 40 and then run the code and then try it out. And what I can see is I've got one circle that's centered on the mouse click and one circle is below the mouse click. So I'm thinking that plus 40 did not make the circle go up. It looks like it made the circle go down. And the other circle, its center is still right on the mouse click. So what if I try the other circle and I go minus 40 and I go ahead and I hit run, and then I'd like you to think for a minute what's about to happen. If you can pause the video, that'd be great. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click. I hope you paused the video. Here I go. Now I've got a circle above and I've got a circle below. I'm going to leave the last little thing for you to figure out on your own is what are the values that I should either add or subtract so that my solution works just like their solution. My solution should work just like their solution, okay? Now, the last thing I want you to do is I want you to try all test cases. And here's how you try a test case. You go down and you click on the checklist, and if there's more than one, click on each of them, but start with one, and then click each test case. And then try solution, and then try my canvas. Obviously, my test case is not working. But if yours does, then try the next test case, and then try solution, and then my canvas, and see if they agree. And then try the next test case, and then solution, and my canvas, and see if they agree. If they don't agree for all the test cases, you'll know that you need to go back and mess with the code. Okay, I am hopeful you have enough to finish this off. Remember, you do need to finish it off. I did not give you the final answer. Good luck, and let me know how this works out.